nonstop. I'm tired.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making the plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays. They working your faces. Grace up the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
Hello. Welcome everybody to the ASAP Network post-game show. We just watched the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Mr. Tom Brady, and the LA Rams, Mr. Jared Goff, battle off. It was a really good game, man. What did you guys think about that game?
It was a weird game, if you ask me. It was a very entertaining game, but it was just very weird. You thought the offenses were going to explode, and then the defense kind of stuck up and put up in the second half. So it was a very interesting game, tale of two halves, basically. But yeah.
Well, before I jump the gun, let's do the sponsor real quick, just real quick. There we go. So, All Sports Network T-shirts. It's Christmas coming up. Very, very good gift. You got somebody that's watching it. They're $25. So you can go ahead and order yourself one. Or of course, we got the monthly promotion going on where you can actually win one. So you can win your very own shirt just by liking, commenting, or sharing the show. We tally it up at the end of the month, and the one that did it the most gets their very own T-shirt. So make sure you jump on that if you want to support. Don't have the funds at the moment. So, but now back to Brandon. What did you think about the game today?
Yeah, it was a close game. I think we said it yesterday was going to be a close one. I actually picked the Bucks to pull this one out, but again, I try to count on Brady to do something, and he doesn't. Jared Goff outplayed him, and I'm actually kind of surprised the numbers that I see that Brady put up that Donald still was not a factor in there. I thought for sure, just looking at the numbers, Donald would have got to him a couple times, but he didn't. So that kind of shocked me there.
Speaking on that, I kind of agree with you. So high on Brady's finally time to start. I mean, everybody's high on Brady, but it was a Belichick Brady connection, man. And we can clearly see that on both sides of the team spectrums. I mean, Brady, he's not necessarily struggling without Bill Belichick, but there's definitely some areas where I can see where he misses that Belichick check down and the understanding of the game. But same thing on the Patriots side. I see where they're hurting, not having that game manager in their games. Belichick can be the mind as he want to be, but if you don't have that, pilot on the field for you, it's not going to go the same way. So I do understand, but I was expecting this at least the first 2 years of him transitioning into a new team with a new coach. I was expecting this.
That's why you can't give him as much blame as you can with Rodgers. Rodgers has had a extra year in that new system that he has. He's had a lot of the same players. This is a whole new system, a whole new players he's got to get used to. Remember, he has Gronk, but Gronk retired a year ago and came back this year. Rodgers, on the other hand, it's a new system and everything, but he still has Adams. He still has he had the same head coach as he did last year. This is a whole new game. Yes, Tom Brady needs to take a little bit of blame, but once again, that offensive line is not blocking for him as well. And you saw it tonight. And plus, he's 43 years old. What 43-year-old quarterback is going to be? He ain't going to be the same as he was 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago. I don't care if he's in New England or not.
Now, don't let him totally off the hook, Trey. Now,
I'm not letting him totally off the hook. No, that's what I'm saying. His age is showing, and
definitely is.
You can definitely see it. I mean, he's rushing his throws. He's missing, even when he's not getting pass rush, he's missing 5-yard pass out to Leonard Fournette. Yeah. He's missing wide open throws to Evans. He's missing deep balls to Antonio Brown, which he would have connected in New England. Some's not clicking. Yes, it might be the age, and yes, it's a new team. And yes, he's getting this offensive line is not passing for him or blocking for him whatsoever. But saying all that, you still got to give him. Remember, this is a whole new team. There was no OTAs. There was no training camp per se. There was no preseason games.
Antonio Brown, this is second week,
and you can see. And you can see that he's going to help this team out. You saw it tonight. He had 8 receptions for 57 yards. He was huge in that first half. I don't know why they stopped going to him, maybe because of pass rush. But both defenses did step up tonight in that second half. I thought it was going to be another.
Well, going back to what Brandon said, and it kind of references on what you were saying, like he's missing some, throwing them short, overthrowing them. Going back to what Brandon was saying about Aaron Donald, he didn't actually get to him and sack him. Mm-hmm. But if you look at that, that game, Aaron Donald was in his face all game, and Brockers as well. He was knocking them down. I mean, Tom Brady was on the floor more than I've seen in one game than I've probably seen in his career. he was on the floor a lot.
Well, if you bring in that New Orleans Saints game 2 weeks ago, he was definitely on the floor more that game than he was this game. But St. Aaron Donald wasn't impacted yet.
Fashion.
Yeah, you're right. But what I'm saying is if Aaron Donald wasn't a factor in the stats sheet-wise, but him drawing double teams is opening up all those other pass rushers on the outside, and Aaron Donald still got close to him enough to affect Tom Brady. So for him, stat-wise, no, he wasn't affected whatsoever. But if you go back and look at the tape, double teaming him, and then letting all those other rushers. Mm-hmm. So he impacts the game.
Do you guys think that Tom Brady, when there's not a run game for him, is the reason why he's struggling? I mean, because it looks like that, they had no run game. He had to throw the ball 50 times almost. I mean,
he didn't have to throw the ball 50 times. That's Leftwich.
Well,
playing call. I'm skeptical of Leftwich, man. I never thought he was a good offensive coordinator. He had one good year with Jameis Winston. One good year. And we want to crown him one of the best offensive coordinators. But saying all that, you're in the game. There was no reason for you to throw the ball 50 times. Yes, the running game wasn't working. Well, let's go back to your Minnesota Vikings. The running game doesn't work all throughout the game. But if you keep persisting running the ball in that fourth quarter, you're going to wear out this pass rush defense. And one thing I didn't see from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was that hurry up. Once you get a first down, and you saw it from the Los Angeles Rams, they hurry the ball up and get that defense tired. Tom Brady's excellent at rushing and getting plays in and out and stuff. And he was a king of it before this year. So that's something they need to work on too as well. But that rush game shouldn't have gone away. I think that's on the play calling. He shouldn't have had to throw the ball 50 times. That's ridiculous, especially for a 43-year-old.
Yeah, Trey, I agree with you, I think.
I mean, but honestly, I mean, either team was really running the ball.
No.
I think in the first half, the Rams had 7 rushing yards.
Mm-hmm. Well, for the whole game, they had 42.
Yeah, so it was a total passing game, and I mean, you had 2 premier quarterbacks, both of them fighting for divisional spots in their divisions, and they knew. I mean, excuse me. At the end of the first half, the time of possession was 14:42 Tampa Bay to 15-06 to the Rams. I mean, it was just an air raid game. One thing I do want to talk about is Kupp. Kupp is a very underrated receiver. Time and time again, he does this. He's not going to be your super duper flashy, but he's constantly all game long going to beat on the defensive backfield. And the other thing about it is he's very good at getting those big explosive yak plays. And I really, really like the way he's taken on that offense. Because, I mean, it was Woods for the last couple of years as their main guy, and then Kupp would kind of get his in here and there. But I think Kupp's kind of becoming that dude, man.
Well, you got to remember, he was that dude back when they went to the Super Bowl before he tore his ACL.
Correct.
And then he tore his ACL, and then it takes you can come back. It's going to take a full another year for you to recover and become that dude. And you're starting to see that tonight. He had 9 receptions in the first half for over 120 yards or something like that. And then you had Reynolds. I'm sorry, was it Reynolds who had this 12 receptions tonight? Woods. Oh, Woods. I'm sorry, I get them mixed.
He went off in the second half.
Yeah, he went off in the second half. But man, when you have all of those weapons, Reynolds, Woods, Kupp, even Everett, then you have Higbee, the tight end. If you have all those weapons healthy in their speed that they have, you don't have to sit back there and do a 5-step drop back pass with Goff. You can get them out in the pack and do a quick pass, and they can make plays for you. We saw that with Kupp. We saw that with Woods tonight. We saw that with Higbee. He can easily get you some 10 yards right there and then. So you're starting to see a little bit more. I was skeptical of this Rams team just because they haven't beat anybody until recently. All they beat was the NFC East, and that's all they really beat until these last couple of games.
Yep.
Now they're starting to play these good teams, and they're starting to really show you who they really are. And they got a couple big games against Seattle coming up, and that's a big win for them tonight because they're keeping pace with Seattle, and it's going to be between them and Seattle for the first place, I do believe. Cardinals, I think, kind of lost it a little bit against Seattle. You just don't know what you're going to get from Seattle. I still think they're kind of young, but you can tell they're right there. But, man, this Los Angeles Rams team, if they get to form like they are right now, and McVay, that offensive brain genius that he is, man, they can easily go back. And with the way the defense is playing right now, with Jalen Ramsey in the secondary, he can lock down your top wide receiver and Evans like he did tonight. When I say lock down, he contained Evans for the most part.
Yeah. That's one thing I was going to bring up now that you mentioned on it, but that defense was really getting it. I mean, the Rams threw that interception. The defense held them to a field goal. Then they came back in the beginning of the second half. The Rams, they missed that field goal. The defense gets the interception right back. You know what I mean? Next thing, Tampa Bay throws an interception. The Rams score. So, you know what I mean? Like, that defense is a real – because Aaron Donald's been there. Mm-hmm. Aaron Donald's been doing his thing there. He's always been disruptive. He's always going to get Jalen Ramsey and having an island, basically. A la Darrelle Revis, but having an island, available, because you can put. Week in and week out, Ramsey has shown he can guard anyone you put in front of him, and it's tonight again, like you said, and that's a big piece. And the touchdown pass, you guys saw what happened. Ramsey, they move him off of Mike Evans for one freaking play. He shadows Goodwin. They take Ramsey away because he notices that he's on Goodwin. So they put Goodwin in motion. Freaking Evans takes that little thing and drags 2 people into the end zone.
That was a heck of a run by Evans. I'm sorry. That was that was outstandanding. There's 3 guys draped on him, and he still got – that was amazing.
Can you imagine what Ramsey said when he got to the sideline? Like,
there's some cuss words going on there.
I'm not getting comfortable no more.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I mean, do you think Tampa takes that division still? Do you think this really hurts their chances?
The way they're being inconsistent, I don't think they're going to take it.
You think the Saints are going to hold on?
I do. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. I think the Saints are going to take it. I mean, you know, can it be Hill or can it be Winston that's going to lead them? You know, I don't know. But I don't think Tampa's going to take the division. I think it's going to be the Saints.
No, if you just look at their schedule alone, even with Hill or Winston, Saints have an easier schedule than what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have. I mean, look at the next two games. They have Denver and Atlanta. I think that's what that is.
Yeah, they're at Denver, at Atlanta, at the Eagles, versus KC, versus the Vikings, and then at Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, Tampa really needed to win tonight.
They did, and I think they lost to the division hopes, and they're going to be the number 5 seed. They're probably going to face the win, and they're going to basically get a bye anyway because they're going to play the NFC East champion. And whoever comes,
you think they're going to hold on to the number 5?
I do. I don't think Tom Brady's going to let them slip to number 6 or 7.
I think tonight.
Yeah, because I don't trust Cardinals. I don't trust the Cardinals. Well, no, I forgot. No, they're going to go number 6 because the Seahawks and the Rams. Who's ever second place in that. You're right. I'm still thinking they're 7 or 16 instead of 7.
This really hurt their chances. I think this really solidified the NFC West having that first wild card spot.
Oh, the West is going to have 3 teams in no matter what, and then you're going to have 2 in the South, and then the rest are going to be division winners. It's not as wide open as it is in the AFC. AFC is wide open, where the NFC, you basically already know who your playoff teams are. You have the 3 from the AFC West, and then you have the division winner for the East, and then you have the Saints and the Bucks, and then you have
that's really
Packers in the North.
Oh yeah, Packers got the North wrapped up, I believe.
Yeah, that NFC West is still open. I mean, the Rams. I mean, the Seattle Seahawks still got to face us again. Or no, we just done with them. But they still got to face the Rams. They still got to face the Niners. But it looks like they're probably going to win the division, though.
Who, the Rams?
Seattle.
Man.
I think
the reason I say I agree with you is because I think the Seahawks have to play the whole NFC East except for the Cowboys, and that's going to build them up. And I think the Rams will have a couple of tough games as well. I'm sorry I don't have their schedule right in front of me at this moment.
Who are we talking about? I got the last 6 here.
Seattle.
We got Seattle? All right, so we got next week the Eagles. Oh, no, that was this week. Yeah. And then the Giants, Jets at Washington. Versus the Rams, and then finish up with the Niners.
Yeah, the you got a point, Nathaniel. I was thinking about that right there too. But Seattle, I think they're gonna go ahead and hold off. That Thursday game against Arizona was really big for them to solidify that spot. I think. The Rams, they started off a little slow to me. I think that's going to hurt them in the long run, especially with Seattle having such a weak back-end schedule. You know.
Go ahead.
One thing I do want to note out that I thought was really big and the NFL put together today, it was the first all-black officiating crew. So they put that together. That was a big thing. I do want to highlight that. Thought that was really cool of them.
That's amazing. In the how many years we are in the NFL and how many years we've been trying to get race out of the NFL, how that has never happened. And and people say I'm cliche or whatever. I honestly do not. Yes, I know someone's black or white, but I honestly don't see. I see people, and I don't know if it I don't know where I'm going with this, but I'm just saying it's just mind-boggling to me that
it took this
long when we had Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier. We have all these famous athletes, everything. We still have a long way to go. There's still a lot of race going on in the world, and I think you see it. I think it's always been there, but with social media the way it is right now, you're just seeing it more profound right now than in the past 10 years or so. So but it's just amazing to me how. But kudos to Roger Goodell and the NFL for doing that and showing everyone is as one, and there is no color. Everyone is a human being, and everyone still believes the same. It doesn't matter if you're white, whatever, white, black, brown, blue, whatever the case may be. We're all human beings, and we all need to be equal as one.
Correct.
Yeah, when I saw that, I think they posted like midweek that this was going to be the first all-black officiating crew. It kind of blew my mind that, really? We haven't had one anywhere, So, I thought maybe they were talking nationally televised game at first, but yeah. So that is a big kudos to the NFL and Goodell. So,
yeah. Knocking down milestones, man. It's like you said, just breaking barriers, and there's still a few more out there to break, and to create, more of that transparency between the races and things that coming together. Like you said, kudos to the NFL for putting it together. So I wanted to highlight that definitely.
Yeah, something I actually saw that was pretty interesting earlier, and I think he did it through his Twitter account. Kaepernick tweeted this morning sometime that, hey, NFL, I've been out 1,000+ days, working out 5 days a week, pretty much trying to get back into the league. Do we see him coming back?
No.
No. I think that I was really rooting for Kaepernick to come back for a while. And I still haven't really changed it. It would be cool to see him take another snap in the NFL. However, I think this last workout tryout, so to speak, that he just had, I think that last one really kind of sealed the deal and kind of put a cap on it. He turned it into more of a statement again.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that no matter what had happened in the past, the different situations he had came through and overcame, I think both parties on both sides at that workout, it was kind of the same. It was kind of like an even playing field. They both had to overcome stuff. They both had to look past things that were said or done to get to the point of having another tryout. So when he went in and it was still seeming as a political statement more than him actually putting his head to the floor and trying out, I think that put a cap on it on both sides. People that wanted him in and people that were rooting against him. It kind of sealed the deal on both sides.
No, I get your point, but kind of why I brought it up is with the Bengals. Could you see them?
No. He's been out of the league way too long. I'm sorry. And you saw what yes, how long he's been out of the league? What, 4 years now?
Yeah. I mean, I know it's a different position than Dez Bryant and Antonio Brown.
No, Jay's right about this. He had an opportunity. Yeah. And I will say this about Kaepernick. Say what you want to about him. You like him or you don't like him. He had an opportunity. The NFL gave him a chance to have this open workout, and then he goes and does this boneheaded thing and wants to switch it up and be televised and be all about him and see what he did. That's what killed it for him. That's what ownership don't want to see. I mean, that's what killed it for him. Yes, you're doing all these great things. I mean, you're donating all this money to charity and social justice and everything like that. Kudos to you. But don't go out there and then change up. The NFL's giving you another shot and trying to help you out, and then you go ahead and you pull that bullcrap move. I'm sorry, I don't buy it. I think the owners are standish about that. I think that they say, you know what, this guy's all about him. He doesn't care about if a team or not. It's just all about him and what he can bring to himself and to his ego. And I loved Kaepernick. I loved him as a 49. I loved watching him play. But that in itself, what Jay just mentioned, was a boneheaded mistake, I do believe. And say what you want to. I know people are going to disagree with me on this, but that was dumb. He should have just took it. He shouldn't have brought video cameras in. He should have just said, if he was really serious about getting in the league, he would have just took it as it is and just had the tryout.
Agreed.
But he blew it right there.
I actually forgot all about that media circus that he wanted. So. But yeah, I think I don't think we'll see Cap, but I kind of wish everybody would just let it go. So, what else we got?
Brandon, since you did bring up Cincy, that was one of the things I was going to bring up tonight. What's next for them? Where do they go from here? What's the next move for Burrow? When do you think we'll see him back?
I think he's going to sit out all next year. I think they're going to take their time to replace him. They're going to go back to the drawing board and kind of see who's out there and see if they can find a vet that can fill it in for a year. A tough loss for him. I know Coach Cam's kind of down on that one. So I mean, best of luck to him, and it's nasty. I think the last 3 years we've had a quarterback go down with a very serious leg injury. So Smith is coming back this year. Bridgewater came back the year before. So hopefully he gets better, gets to the field soon.
What about you, Trey?
They're not going to draft another quarterback, and I'm right there with you, Brandon. He's gonna do not rush him back. But this is the Cincinnati Bengals we're talking about. It's there's no reason for them, and Cam alluded to this earlier on his show earlier today. There's no reason for him to be throwing this ball 50 times a game, and with the way that offensive line is, there is no reason for it. You have no shot at the playoffs. You're trying to build momentum. The head coach, the coaching staff they need to get rid of them. They don't know what they're doing. You saw how good Joe Burrow is, basically winning 2 games on his own. The defense is kind of mediocre at best, but they have no offensive line. They have no protection for Joe Burrow. Why are you going to go back there and have him as a hitting dummy for all these defensive linemen who just can easily just bone rush their offensive line and then just have a hunting field day with Joe Burrow at quarterback? And you saw I got him killed yesterday. But what they're going to do is, and I'm probably going to get slack for this, or I'm probably going to get ridiculed for this. It sounds like a perfect opportunity to bring in Fitzmagic next year. And the reason I say that is because Fitzmagic knows what this business is all about. He knows he's not a starting quarterback. He's not a franchise guy. He's 37, 38 years old. But saying that, he can lead a team. We saw with the Miami Dolphins, build a team, get the veteran, get those young players believing. For some reason, they just Fitzmagic just always has these players always want them to play with him. Like they boost their game up and I think because he runs hard. Exactly, and that's all the players want. And so I think it'll be a perfect fit because Finley's not even good. Use Finley as a backup next year, and I can totally see Fitzpatrick coming in Cincinnati and taking over for a year while they rest Joe Burrow's knee. Even when Joe Burrow comes back, not even next year, but the year after, it's going to take him a whole nother year to get that mental thing from taking that hit. I guarantee you, no one comes back right away from those knee injuries. I don't care what. Look at Kupp; he just tore his ACL, and it took him a full another year before he even got comfortable again. So that's what I would do if I was at Cincinnati Bengals. I'll bring in Fitzmagic and just bring up your young players and start teaching Burrow as you go too. So that's what I would do.
Should they go offensive line in the draft?
They should have done that a long time ago. They should have done that before they got Burrow, man.
So definitely this year.
Oh, they're stupid if they don't.
Yeah.
They're probably going to have a top 3 pick, top 4 pick.
I mean, I wouldn't even necessarily go all out on my offense. I would probably go offensive line. I take this year off necessarily on my offense. I go offensive line. I'd go maybe tight end, and then I'd load up on the defense.
Well, yeah, you first round pick has to go to the offensive line. I don't care.
Oh, definitely.
It has to, and then I think from there on out, you just fill out your team and see what you need. Defense definitely needs to, because you're set at wide receiver a little bit. I mean, you got some playmakers at wide receiver. Higgins, what's that? AJ Green, if he ever stays healthy again. I kind of feel bad for AJ Green because
AJ Green's on his way out.
He is, but I feel bad for him because I always liked him, and he's never had a really good quarterback to throw to him. He deserved better.
Andy Dalton did his thing for a few years. They had a nice connection.
What about making a call to Vegas and see about Mariota to go to Cincy?
Now, Mariota or even what's his name, Jacoby?
Oh, Marcus
Brissett?
Mariota.
The dude, the back of Indianapolis.
Yeah, Jacoby Brissett.
Yep.
Oh, 20%, yeah.
Jacoby Brissett's not leaving Indianapolis. He hasn't made there being a backup quarterback. But you also remember Rivers is probably going to retire after this year too.
How high up do you guys see the Bengals getting in the draft?
4th.
Yeah.
I was gonna say top 5.
Yeah. I think 1, 2 is probably locked up with the Jets and the Jags.
Jets, Jags.
Giants?
Texans.
No, 3.
Jets,
I bet they get 3.
Texans.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, they definitely need to go offensive line. That offensive line is horrific.
Yeah.
Well,
what about that?
I mean,
Colts
you can
Packers
bring up the
game?
offensive line for quite a few teams, that, need help and always avoid it,
Oh yeah.
So,
What about that Colts Packers game?
wow. Got me by surprise. I thought Packers were going to pull that out. The Colts defense is tough. I got a buddy that's a Colts fan, and after our pregame show, he Facebooked me and told me I was on something because I took the Packers over the Colts. But you never can count Aaron Rodgers out, though. I mean, that guy is a bad man, and
Oh my God.
But
We'll
see.
What are you over there? Oh my God, about Trey?
I'm so sick of hearing Aaron Rodgers is the bad man. He's
Tell
won
me why.
one.
Tell me why.
What has he done since that last Super Bowl? Please tell me.
Well,
Everything.
yeah,
Everything but what? Get back
Utility
to the
belt.
Super Bowl. Everything but get back to the Super Bowl.
He's a utility belt. If
Oh,
you know what,
good
we
God.
sit here and talk all the time about quarterbacks not having team and quarterbacks not having an offensive line and quarterbacks not having targets to throw to. That he is the epitome of get it done with what you got. He is the
Aaron?
epitome of it. They had who was it, Montgomery, that they turned into a running back?
yeah.
They
Yeah.
turned him into a running back.
But that's because
They-
Mike
it
McCarthy's
was-
not a
they
good
turned
head
him
coach and
into-
doesn't know how to coach.
Huh?
That's because Mark McCarthy sucks as a head coach.
But
We've
what
seen
does that
that
do
in
to Aaron Rodgers?
That's what I'm saying is that's not. I don't know where you're going with that, but I'm just saying they didn't draft a running back. They need a. Yes, he's going to have the statistics. I'm not denying that.
But he gets it done with whatever they give him.
How's he
That's
getting
what
it?
I'm trying to
Okay.
say.
Also, so now finding success is getting to the NFC Championship game and getting blown out by a 49er team that killed you, pitch you in the mouth, and you never responded twice in that season. It's that losing to Seattle, a game you shouldn't even lost to in the NFC Championship game. Is that success? I'm sorry. If I'm Aaron Rodgers, want to be a great.
Is that the year
No.
Seattle won the Super Bowl?
That's the year they went to the Super Bowl and lost to the New England Patriots.
Oh, they lost that one. Okay.
You remember that onside? But yeah, besides that Super Bowl, what has this? Yes, they're going to have all this glory. Aaron Rodgers can have all the stats in the world. It's just like we had this Tom Brady versus Peyton Manning debate a couple, like whenever they were doling out who the best is. Peyton Manning had the statistics in this regular season. Give him that. But when it came to postseason, what did they do? He crumbled. He was not a postseason clutch player. He had a losing record for majority of his career in the postseason.
Who? Manning?
Yes, Manning had a losing record in the postseason until he finally, for the most of his career. I do believe. Go check me on that, but I'm 100% sure it was a 500 record. And Tom Brady it's all what he does in the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers he's like a Ferrari. He's going to glitz and glamour. Everybody wants it until someone hits him in the mouth, just like the Indianapolis Colts did, just like the 49ers did last year. I'm telling you. So go ahead. I'm telling you.
Listen. I'm not even the biggest Aaron Rodgers fan, but listen, time in year after year after year. Adam, you're right on target. I mean, year after year after year, the man does not get help. He does not get help.
He had help last year.
Who did he get?
Adams?
Devontae Adams has been there for a few seasons, but that's it. That's it.
Oh my God.
Like I said, they finally got a running back last year.
I kind of got to agree with that comment, though, that Adam just had up there. I mean, defenses do win championship games. I mean,
Yeah.
when is the last time they had a solid D
That's what I was
anywhere?
I mean, they haven't built up the defense, Brandon. They haven't given him no other weapons outside of Devontae Adams. Well, they who they go get for tight end that they tried out? Jimmy
Graham?
Yeah, was it Jimmy Graham? They tried out.
A couple years ago, they had Jimmy Graham.
Yeah, they went to go get Jimmy Graham to try him out for him. That didn't work out, and they never kept going and giving him weapons. I honestly think that we see Aaron Rodgers and we're not giving him. I mean, I can't say we're not giving him enough credit, but when he's gone, when he's done, and he retires, we're gonna see the difference, man. That team has not helped him out at all.
Well, you're probably right, but I mean, they said the same thing about Favre when he left, and what was Rodgers going to do? So I mean, we'll see. But going back to Trey's point about Manning, I'm actually surprised. I just looked it up. 14-13 in the playoffs.
Thank you.
I really thought it was better. I'm going to be 100% shocked. I thought it was better.
And then you want to talk about weapons for New England or for the Packers, right? Besides Randy Moss in New England, has Tom Brady ever had weapons like Aaron Rodgers has had? Please tell me.
Oh,
besides exactly. Edelman. Besides Edelman's the only guy, but he's not a key. He's not a Hall of Famer.
You're excluding two of his best weapons.
Who? I said Randy Moss for 1 year.
And then Edelman.
And you saw how Edelman's not a Hall of Famer. Edelman drops passes. Yes, he's a great slot receiver, but he does not get. You tell me Edelman's going to beat you over the top and win you games? Who did Tom Brady have? Name me.
No, I mean, that is right.
That's why he left New England, because they wouldn't give him any help.
I mean, besides Troy Brown and Moss and Edelman, I can't.
But I will say this. New England actually did have a good defense. Packers are but there's been years Packers have had good defense and still choke in the playoffs because Aaron Rodgers choked. Don't give me this. Aaron Rodgers is a bad. Yes, he used to be a bad man, but the bad man right now is in Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes. I'm sorry.
I can't get his name off, but who was it before Edelman? It was White. Walker. Yeah, Wes Walker was a beast. And you got to also. Bringing that up though, Trey, you got to look at the game tonight. If you look at the game tonight and you look at the difference between the New England Patriots offense and you look at the difference between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense that Bruce Arians wants to get that ball down the field. That's why we're seeing a lot more of these ducks. That's why we're seeing a lot more of these. And I don't mean ducks like he's not throwing good passes, but he's holding the ball longer for his receivers to get further downfield. And he's getting his elbows hit. He's getting, you know what I mean? He's getting pressured. And that's why we're seeing this. Before, they had a great offensive line, and he would get the ball out quick. Dingers. That's why Wes Walker, that's why Edelman were such big factors. In Troy Brown as well. I mean, he'd get down a field a little bit, but he was a little bit quicker, receiver. So that's a big call out by you. I mean, I understand. But again, now, not to get back on this Aaron Rodgers thing, but Aaron Rodgers don't have those luxuries. He doesn't have Chris Godwin. Godwin. He doesn't have Antonio Brown. He doesn't have Mike Evans. He doesn't have guru play caller and back there with Bruce Arians. So those are the type of things that I look at, not even being a Rodgers fan, but those are the type of things I do look at. I'd be like, man, he's managing the game well. He's doing all these things without all the weapons that are spread around the league.
I just can't. When are we going to? Since when has regular season victories become a bad man? The baddest. I mean, since when have we? I mean, at some point you have to win. Brett Favre. They're like Brett Favre only won one Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers going down the same path Brett Favre did, and we still call him Brett Favre the best quarterback of all time. Brett Favre was still doing this thing in Minnesota.
Brett Favre ain't the best quarterback all the time. He was a Chuck.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
But I mean, Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre, I wouldn't compare them the same. I mean, there are guns.
They're having the exact same career. They're having the exact same thing. They've both won one Super Bowl, and they get close, but yet they fell. I'm sorry. And Brett Favre actually went to 2 Super Bowls where Aaron Rodgers had yet to get back to one.
Guys, I want to Nate put up a comment here. Brady chokes in the playoffs always. He has a losing record of the first round. I just was actually just looking at Brady's playoff stats, and I'm looking at he's like 0-3 actually in the first round.
In away games?
What's that? Yeah, playoff games.
In the playoff away games?
Did it say away games? Oh, I'm sorry. I did not.
So, I mean, in the okay, yeah. So, I mean, that's I never really looked at that. He never had to have a lot. In I mean, after the early part of his career, he was the divisional champ from there on out. So, but that's something to look at because this year is going to be a little different for him.
No. I'm just saying this. The bad man is not Aaron. Yes, he was probably a bad man back 3-4 years ago. The bad man is in Kansas City. That bad man's fixing to lead a dynasty to his back-to-back Super Bowl champ. That bad man, you can have 20 seconds left on the clock and go 80 yards down the field, and you still don't feel comfortable. That's the bad man. I'm sorry. I'm tired. Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback. I'm not disputing that whatsoever. I'm just tired of everyone saying he's a bad man. Since when does a bad man only made it to one Super Bowl that got lucky to get there by the 6th seed, by the luck of the chin?
I mean, let's segue right into that. I mean, the Chiefs, that Raider game was really, 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 really good. And it was very surprising to me. The Raiders fought so hard. I knew that first game. To me, watching that game, I thought the Chiefs were kind of caught by surprise.
Ooh. Actually, I was wooed.
Oh, my God. Yeah, we'll go back to that. But it's been a long time.
I was actually wooing the comment Freddie just posted about don't make them jump on here for disrespecting Rodgers.
Oh, goodness.
Disrespecting? Oh, whatever. Let's go on. Let's move on.
We're not going to do it. We just started the Aaron Rodgers up.
I mean, honestly, I don't think Rodgers lost that game.
No.
But yeah,
I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that at all.
Game that Jay brought up.
No, so, but the Raiders really fought hard, man, and I really believe that first game caught the Chiefs off guard a little bit. I think that the Raiders played everyone else leading up to the Chiefs totally different. And when they came out versus the Chiefs, I think the game plan was stick it to them in all game. Stick it to them early and often, and it really showed. But the Chiefs were ready this time. Yeah, you went to the shootout. You went to a shootout.
This one, I don't know if they're ready. I mean, they needed the win.
It was a shootout.
Yeah,
it was a shootout.
We talked yesterday the pregame. Pregame that we thought the Chiefs were going to come in and put a licking on them. But they gave Mahomes too much time. I mean, I think. Trey's right. I think the bad man scenario or nickname has to go to Pat Mahomes. I mean, you give that guy any time left on the clock with timeouts or not, he's going to march down the field and put him in the driver's seat to win.
Brandon, that comment. The Raiders are 1 or 2 players away from being legit. What do you think? I mean, are they 1 or 2 players away, or are they there?
Yes, they could be there, but I mean, 1 or 2 players. I mean, if they can, Cat Mack and still got all those stuff they got from Chicago, they're probably there. I mean, if they can find another Khalil Mack, yeah. But
they don't.
These guys face off in the playoff game. Who do you guys got?
I still got the Chiefs right now.
Oh, Chiefs!
Look, game 1 versus game 2. Game 1, I think that the Chiefs were surprised. I think that the Chiefs were caught off guard. I think, like I said, that the Raiders totally came out with a yin and yang offense versus what they were doing to people for the first few games of the season. This game, the Chiefs were kind of ready for it, so to speak. And when I say ready for it, they were up for the shootout. And you don't want to get in a shootout with the Kansas City Chiefs. Like you said, you left too much time on the clock. That is a big thing to me. I mean, looking at this, one of the biggest things is, and I put a big box around it. Josh Jacobs had 55 yards. Yeah. Josh Jacobs has 100 yards. They don't have that much time left on the clock, Trey.
It's kind of like that. I agree with it. What? How much time is? I said jokingly, which I'm probably kind of serious. If you have 20 seconds left on that clock, I'm not with that offense that the Chiefs have. I'm not dismissing with Tyreek Hill. He can break open any with the breakaway speed that he has. It's just, what do? You have to get that scored. I don't care how long. You just have to. And the defense, for the most part, besides that, in the first half, actually contained the Chiefs pretty well. I wouldn't say well. I mean, they made them punt like twice, but
that's good.
They made them earn. They made them earn everything. It wasn't like 4 plays, 80 yards, touchdown, 2 minutes. It was time-consuming drive, just like the third quarter was. It was a 16-play, 8.5-minute drive for 93 yards. They made them earn everything. Nothing came easy for the Chiefs. But yeah, going back to Adam's comment, I think that they're one player away. I think they need that deep threat. Waller, the tight end, he's a stud.
He is a beast.
You have a good slot receiver in Renfro, who's he reminds me of Cole Beasley a little bit from Dallas back in the day. He can get there. He goes,
a great number 2.
Aguilar, the problem, I don't trust Aguilar. Even when
Philadelphia,
he will be. He tried a number 2 in Philadelphia, but he's wildly. I mean, he'll make these great catches, and then he'll drop wide open catches. It's just, can you trust him? But yeah, he could be a great number 2. I think they just need that one great wide receiver to be over the top.
You don't believe in Riggs? Riggs is over the top.
You mean Ruggs? Ruggs?
My bad. But Riggs is over the top killer.
He is, but they haven't utilized that this year. I think they need another deep. And
Bring that comment back up.
He's quick. But what I'm saying is,
Mahomes' only 2 interceptions this season are against
the Raiders.
And again, I think that, like I said, you don't want to get into a shootout with the Raiders. I mean, with the Chiefs. And I think versus game 1, in fact, Brandon, if you can you pull up that game 1 stat line and see what Josh Jacobs finished with?
Against the Raiders?
Yeah. I mean, against the Chiefs.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see here. It was 40-32. Josh Jacobs, 23 carries, 77 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
23 carries.
Yeah. And then, I mean, even Carr, 347 yards, 3 touchdowns with a pick.
Yeah, it's just it's a game changer when Josh Jacobs is putting his helmet into the opposing defense's faces. And I think that if they meet in the playoffs, it can't be 30-point game. It needs to be 21-24 range.
I will say this about John Gruden has done a great job. Everyone questioned him and his draft picks when he first started coming in the league, but they knew the players that they needed for that team. You have Abrams as they have man. I saw that secondary. They weren't scared of the moment. That they were locking down a lot of those receivers and Tyreek Hill and everything. Abrams is a hard hit. He'll miss a couple of hits or tackles, but that boy makes you. Yes, oh my gosh! And then you have that other cornerback who's going to be a stud. I can't remember his name right now, but
they have
a great secondary. Yeah.
No, they have a really good one. I mean, the problem is this: you look at the Chiefs. You got Le'Veon Bell. He got his first touchdown with them. You got Kelsey. He hit 127 yards and 8 catches. Then you got Tyreek Hill. He hit 108 yards, 11 catches, and a touchdown. I mean, just those 3 alone. Before you add in Samuels, before you add in, everybody else that's on the team. I mean, Sammy Watkins. Before you add in everybody else that's with them. What's the young running back's name?
Ayer.
Yeah. So before you add everybody else into the mix. I mean, just their 3-headed monster right there. And Mahomes himself is a bad man. He does what he wants when he wants to. So that's going to be a hard team to really defeat.
I will say this: their defense needs to step up. That defense, they looked horrible. They really did. They stepped up when they had to, but that's their weakness, and it always has been. Like you said, you can't get in a shootout with them because the Chiefs will make a play. The secondary or linebackers or whatever the case may be will make a play at a crucial time. But if you get in that's if you get a shootout. But if you make The Raiders had a great game plan. Make them earn everything, man. And they did for the most part, except for that last minute and a half and that bad man in Patrick Mahomes. Before you blink an eye.
One other thing I did want to ask you about, because it really surprised me, was the Dallas game. It just surprised me.
Oh, we're going to bring up that game again, huh?
I don't get it, man. They come up. I didn't expect them to win this game at all. I didn't expect them to win, but maybe one or two more the rest of the year.
Go ahead, Brendan, and I'll wrap that one up.
Well, I could have went either way. I mean, I am from Minnesota, grew up a Vikings fan. So it is kind of disappointing, but again, I'm a realist. I didn't like Cousins signing from day one, but if the guy could put up numbers like he did against Dallas with the weapons we have and Cook consistently, I mean, yeah, we could be a top team. But he's so inconsistent. I mean, like I said in the pregame show, it was going to come down to turnovers, and I think they had 3 of them, and Dallas scored, I think, 10 points on those turnovers, and that I believe was the difference. I mean, Cook got his. Thielen got his, Jefferson got his. It was another shootout. I mean, we go down, score, they go down, score. But I wasn't surprised it was close. I was, kind of surprised Dallas did pull it out, but it doesn't shock me that they pulled it out. So, all right, Craig, go ahead.
It was kind of shocking how they pulled it off, just how abysmal they looked against Washington a couple of weeks ago. They lost 25-3. Then they couldn't even score 10 points against the Philadelphia Eagles, and then they couldn't even score. And then Pittsburgh, they looked all right, but I think Pittsburgh always plays down to the competition as well. But this team has given up over 38 points a game in the first 6 weeks. So the way that defense is starting to turn around a little bit. You saw it at first. We saw it against Philadelphia, and we're like, okay, it's Philadelphia. They have no weapons. Carson Wentz is overrated. We can go. That's a different story for a different day. And then you saw it against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, you can say what you want to about the Pittsburgh Steelers, but they play down to the competition for most parts. They really do. They play up or down wherever the competition. Because Pittsburgh Steelers could easily have a losing record just as bad as the Cowboys have, because all their games have been one possession. But getting back to this. And if you watched the pregame show yesterday, what I said was this will be the game Dallas Cowboys would win, because the Eagles would lose, then they'll be right back in the division. They caught them and I will give this, they caught the Vikings at the right time. They just came off a rivalry game, and they played Chicago, I think, on Monday night, right? Yeah, so they played Chicago on Monday night, a big rivalry game. Dallas had that bye week, 2 weeks to prepare for Minnesota. And what I liked most about Mike McCarthy, he said all week, we have to run the football. We have to stick to the run. Usually when he says that, once they start getting behind, they forget about the run. But they were balanced all the way through. And you saw what it did to Andy Dalton. And it looked shades of like Andy Dalton back in Cincinnati when he led those teams to the playoffs. Play action pass. He was hitting Cooper and CeeDee Lamb. You say what you want to about Jefferson being Rookie Player of the Year. CeeDee Lamb's making a case right now. CeeDee Lamb is going to be a stud in this league. But you just saw a different – when you run the football, everyone's all happy about all this air raid and stuff that's going on in the NFL. But what's winning all these Super Bowls is running the football, time management. And you saw a little glimpse of what the 2016 Dallas Cowboys were when Dak Prescott and Zeke Elliott came back in the league. They controlled the game. They controlled the ball. They kept that defense off the field for the majority of they gave them a little rest instead of put 3 out, put them right back out there. And then you said turnovers were a difference in the game. Yeah, Cowboys had 2 turnovers in the first in that game, big crucial turnovers. But Dallas was last in the league in turning those turnovers into points. They only had 13 points off turnovers this year. That's worse than the league. Minnesota was second worst with 20. So both teams are horrible whenever they get the ball back from a turnover. But
I mean,
go ahead
real quick. So with Minnesota being the way they are, sitting at where they are at, doesn't look like they're going to make the playoffs.
Nope, they missed it.
Is it time to move on from Kirk Cousins?
Yes.
Not yet.
It was. I mean,
who are you
going to get?
Well, okay. So it's almost impossible for them to move on to Kirk Cousins with his contract. I mean, unless they find somebody that is willing to take on that contract. Again, who are they going to get? You're right. I mean, do they make a move for a veteran, or do they try to make a move to go up? But I have always said, and you can, ask anybody that knows me, that I hang out with that watches the game. I didn't mind the Kirk Cousins signing. I didn't like the guaranteed contract because I knew it was going to bite him down the road. I would have kept Case. I would have kept Bridgewater. I would have went out, and honestly, we should have drafted Lamar Jackson instead of who we drafted 28th, and then had an open competition, for the quarterback. But
every team that did not draft Lamar should have drafted him.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I don't know about that. You're seeing that this year. If the people are getting tape on Lamar Jackson, if you're making him a thrower, dude,
we got on that Lamar Jackson thing though, Trey. They still have not given this dude an honest chance with that playbook. And
I understand that.
Every week we see that, man.
I understand that, but when Tennessee gave him the blueprint in the playoffs last year, if you get ahead of this team, they can't come back from behind, and teams are noticing that. And it hasn't helped the fact that Mark Ingram's been in and out of the lineup this year as well, putting it all on Lamar Jackson. And then it doesn't help him this Thursday night when they're both on the COVID list, both him and his backup running back as well. But going back to Kirk Cousins, you got to remember who Mike Zimmerman is and how he wants to run his offense. Lamar Jackson wouldn't fit this offense. What is the Minnesota Vikings? They're a running back team with a play action pass. Lamar Jackson, he's a spread quarterback who likes to. He's better. Yeah. Better shotgun.
I get that. I mean, what about this? Because you said where would he go? Because I know you said you wouldn't move on from him, but
just because the way they are right now in the standing wise for the draft, the great quarterbacks that are going to come into Trevor Lawrence and the other quarterback Justin Fields, they're going to be out 1 and 2 in that draft, and so after that the quarterback position, I mean, you got the kid from Alabama who's probably going to come out too. He's going to be good, but who are you going to get that's better than Kirk Cousins? He say what you want to about him. Everyone gives him heck for not winning primetime games, but Joe Namath with 0-6 on Monday Night Football, he won a Super Bowl. I'm just saying, if he learns to be a great game manager, and I think you're seeing glimpses of it against Chicago and then again against Dallas, he threw over 300 yards. I mean, yes, Dallas defense isn't all that great, but you saw that he can be wildly perfect. He had a perfect quarterback passer rating. I just say, with all that talent, who are you going to get? You're that close.
What if you get?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying is if Cousins plays, like he did against Dallas, yeah, we're going to keep him around. And honestly, going into the Packer game in Lambeau, I thought that was the make or break game. I thought if they were going to lose that game, it was going to be a fire sale, and possibly Zimmer would have lost his job. But of course, they won, and we went on I think a 4-game winning streak or something like that. So, but I do believe they're done. I think their playoff hopes are done. I don't see them beating Tampa, and I don't see them beating the Saints.
So, I mean, with that being said, because I know you said who would be a suitor, where would he go? I mean, what if the Broncos came knocking?
I mean, nobody's going to take on that contract. I mean,
Broncos would.
I've seen the Broncos do a lot.
Broncos would. Broncos give up on their quarterbacks quicker than anybody. Ever since Peyton Manning. Yeah, they give. Well, that was the Texans though, and then they trade. Yeah, they got him after that big contract. Yeah, you're right.
They had him, took him.
Yeah, they can. And man, I'm telling you,
I'm not saying no team can't take the contract. It's who's going to take that contract?
Denver would. Right now.
So
I think, Dallas has their quarterback. Dallas probably would too. Jerry Jones probably tried to make a trade right now to get a Kirk Cousins because Jerry Jones is stupid.
No, if he was still opportunity, he probably would because in his mind, we're gonna make playoffs.
Well, no, see, Jerry Jones would trade Vikings somebody for 20 players and rebuild their team like that. So they wouldn't take Cousins.
Greatest trade ever.
What other game do you guys want to highlight? Any other game that you guys saw that you wanted to see?
Actually, I don't know if there's any other games really to highlight from last week. What do you guys think about a couple games coming up this week?
Let's run through the schedule. Who we got?
Let's do Thursday.
Yeah, somebody's got to list off the Thursday games for me.
Texans, Lions, Cowboys, Redskins, Ravens, Steelers. That's your Thursday games.
Texans,
Steelers.
Lions.
That's
That's on Thanksgiving. We should have switched that game up.
well,
but the
because the
Lions
Lions are always Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's a traditional game for the Lions. I actually like growing up watching them on Thanksgiving Day, but I think they're definitely going to pull it off just to make sure, you know, that the Lions, that's what they do. That's what they do.
That's
yeah, Lions I got to go with the Lions on
that. I don't. I'm going with the Texans easily because what, dude? You just saw the Detroit Lions lose to the Carolina Panthers with the backup quarterback and no Christian McCaffrey. Give me a break. And then you just saw Deshaun Watson and then running the ball with the Texans, stopping New England's run attack. If that team's scary, even though they have a 3-7 record, they're not going to lose to Detroit. I'm sorry, there's no way they're going to lose to Detroit.
And then you got the big battle of the East. Watch the Cowboys.
First place, baby.
First place.
That's another one, man. I don't know. With the way the Cowboys played last week, I would want to pick the Cowboys, but you know, I still think the Washington Redskins are going to come out that division.
I'm sorry, it's not Washington Redskins. It's the Washington football team. I'm so
sorry.
I'm sorry for 100 years that they've been playing football. I'm totally 1 year. I just forget. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the viewers who were offended. I'm sorry.
But the Washington football team, I think that they're going to win that division. They're going to pull it out. I really do. They're somehow going to squeak this out. Philadelphia is going to mess it up. Dallas is going to mess it up. Somehow this is all going to end up with a catastrophe, and Washington's going to squeak it out of there.
I'll take the Giants over Washington right now. I'm telling you that.
Giants too. That's another dark horse. I just don't think Philadelphia and Dallas are going to do it.
For that division alone, I think it's going to divisional wins down the stretch here. So.
I don't.
You don't?
Nope. Okay. Cowboys can easily start winning this division in Week 16 again when it comes against the Philadelphia Eagles. You want to know why I say that? You want to know why I say that? It is, but Dallas only has three division games left. But what I'm saying is the New York Giants schedule, but after this week, is the Cincinnati Bengals, Seattle Seahawks, Arizona Cardinals, Cleveland Browns, Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
Tell me where's the win besides the Bengals in that one?
And then the Cowboys.
Cowboys. They have Redskins, Ravens, Bengals,
Niners, Eagles, Giants.
And then the Eagles still have to play the Saints, the Packers, the Seahawks, all these great teams. Redskins got the Steelers,
the football team.
They got the Steelers. They got the Seahawks. They got
you got
the Cardinals.
We
Cowboys.
They already played us.
Yeah, that's what I meant. But they have a tougher schedule. I'm telling you. If Cowboys win this game, and then the only game they lose is against Baltimore, they could easily, believe it or not, they can go 8-8. The team that always goes 8-8, they can go 8-8 and make the playoffs this year.
What division is known for winning 8-8 Super Bowls?
But getting back to this game, I just think it wasn't just yesterday that the Dallas. You saw improvements since the Philadelphia game. I think this could have been a blessing in disguise. I don't wish this upon anybody. I think getting concussed for Andy Dalton and getting COVID, him sitting out and looking and watching and getting his brain ready, I think took the pressure off of them. And I think you saw a little bit of that as long as they're running the football. And the one move that no one's really talking about is moving Zach Martin from guard to tackle. And you saw how better that offensive line was yesterday. But you saw glimpses of this defense kind of turning around a little bit against Philadelphia and then against Pittsburgh. And then they kind of put it together against – dude, Minnesota has weapons all over that field, man. Minnesota can score 50 points on any given set with Adam Thielen, Jefferson, Cook. That lineup is dangerous. It's probably one of the best top lineups in the NFC. If that all comes down to it, they just don't have a very good quarterback. But you just start seeing the Cowboys kind of clicking a little bit, and I think with the Philadelphia Eagles slipping, I think some clicking in their mind like we can still win this division. We can, we get into playoffs. Anything can happen. How many 6 seed? In talking about Aaron Rodgers and that Batman, he was a 6 seed who went on and won the Super Bowl. I'm just saying anything can happen in the playoffs. Am I drinking Kool-Aid and say they're going to win the Super Bowl or going to get close? Heck no. But what I'm saying is this isn't the same Dallas Cowboys. If they win this week, you're going to start saying this ain't the same Dallas Cowboy team that you saw in the first 3 weeks. I'm telling you, something's happened. So I think that off week they got mentally prepared. The rest of their bodies are getting. I just think it's a.
I'm just sure that all the wild card teams are just hoping and watching and waiting for whoever comes out of that division.
Oh yeah. So Trey,
they're salivating.
So Trey, you being the Cowboy fan, put your GM hat on. Do you keep Dak if he's healthy?
Oh yes, you saw it. Oh, you saw it. And I'm saying that right now with confidence that I wasn't saying that last year, or I was actually one of the only people when Tony Romo got injured. When Tony Romo got healthy, I said you put Tony Romo back in that game, season, just because I wasn't a believer in Dak. I really wasn't. You just saw he was wildly inaccurate. He didn't have that zoom. But he's kind of grown on me. He has grown on me, and you're seeing it this year without him being in the lineup. He's what made that team. He was at a phenomenal. Yes, they were behind by like 50. They couldn't get out of their own way in the first quarter. They fumbled the ball 4 times every time in the first quarter. But you're seeing the leadership that it's not just on the field. It's the leadership that he brings on the team. His desire to win, his mentality. You're just seeing that he loves everyone on this team, and the players feed off that. And it sucks that he went down this year because I just thought that this year he bet on himself. He's one of the greatest guys in the league. He really is. He's not a bad thing to say about him, except for that DUI that he got in college, and he's owned up to it. And ever since then, he's been out of the spotlight. Not a bad word about him. It's just the way he carries himself. I fell in love with him. And you're seeing, and it didn't take until this injury for me to say that. Man, how blessed we were to have Dak, not only for his throwing, because he's not the greatest thrower in the world, but he gives you that double threat. He can beat you with his legs. How many times in the fourth quarter they needed a big first down on 3rd down, and it was like 10 yards to go, and he carries 2 guys over to the first down or gets that big touchdown to read option to Zeke. And you can see Zeke's game is a lot better with Dak Prescott in there as well. It's just
they're just jealous. They're a way better cohesive unit with Dak in the game. I agree. After watching him sit out,
and I always thought Carson Wentz was the best quarterback in this NFC East. It's Dak. How can you not? I mean, I'm sorry, Chris. Wentz, he had one good year, and then you saw the decline ever since you get tape on Wentz.
You better watch it. Daniel Jones is sneaking past him.
I'm giving Daniel Jones a pass this year. He's having a great year so far.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is get Saquon Barkley back next year, see what that offense can really do. But I don't trust Jason Garrett for saving my life. Being a Cowboy fan all my life, Jason Garrett's going to find one way to mess us up.
So you're obviously going Dallas with game 2, right?
Oh, yeah. I think just because the way Washington ran all over them, 25-3, and Andy Dalton playing the way he is and the defense, and I think that the Dallas Cowboys are hungry right now. I think they should be able to take care of this business. Well, I don't know. Alex Smith is starting to look pretty decent too, but I just don't think they have enough weapons to contain to keep them in the game.
Brandon, you too?
No, I said Washington before we got out of the debate. So
Washington.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go.
I like
Alex Smith too.
I mean, if the Cowboys win. Again, I'm not going to be surprised. I mean,
can I say something though? I'm a Cowboy fan, right? But I can understand why people don't like the Cowboys because of their fan base. You go on Twitter, you go on all these things. Like they won one game, and they're like, "Oh, look at us now!" Like you haven't won a game since in a month and 11 days. Give me a break. It's irritating. I get frustrated.
I personally don't like the Cowboys for a certain trade. That's why I don't like the Cowboys. But I mean,
when's the last time they won a Super Bowl?
Dallas, 1996 against Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Ain't that the same thing you just on Aaron Rodgers about?
That's what I'm saying.
Ain't that the same thing you was just on Aaron Rodgers about? That they give them. They're always pushing Aaron Rodgers. They're always pushing Aaron Rodgers.
I'm not.
Aaron Rodgers, and he ain't won no Super Bowls. I think the Dallas is always pushed to the forefront. They're always shoved down our throat, and they don't come out. Every year they're always like, "Oh, Dallas is going to come out and go to the Super Bowl. Oh, watch out.
Exactly.
They got some secret recipe over there, and it doesn't pan out. That's why it seems like we pick on them, because they're always put at number 1 through 3 when we start off the season.
Well, I totally agree with you. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, and I hate the Cowboy fans. They're ignorant. They are. They haven't won anything in 20. They haven't got out of the divisional round in so long, and since forever. Troy Aikman was last playing quarterback. That just tells you how long they've been to the AFC Championship game. Was 1996. The year they won the Super Bowl. That's how long it's been. So don't until you win, at least get to the NFC Championship game. Don't give me.
Yeah, and that's my thing. I feel like that, a lot of extra is thrown into the Dallas, through the media and everything else. And I also think they get breaks a lot. I see a lot of players that go there that I think are like, and the amount of money they end up taking to go there. I think teams don't get those type of things too often. Because a lot of teams a lot of players just want to play with Dallas. Hey, I can't complain.
Yeah, because they want that star on their helmet. They want that star. Look at Earl Thomas. He's been trying to get anything to get to Dallas, and now Dallas won't even take him because of the stupid boneheaded mistake.
Yeah, but definitely. So we got Washington, and then Dallas. Okay, what was game 3?
Pittsburgh and Baltimore.
Rematch, huh?
In Pittsburgh,
Will this game be?
I'm going Pittsburgh.
I'm kind of thinking this game might not happen on Thursday night.
Well, that's true. I don't think it might not happen. I mean,
that's gonna happen. Ingram wasn't even playing last week, right?
No, but contact tracing and stuff like that. Well, there's also the backup running back too that got COVID. Yeah. But saying that, Ravens are gonna have a chip on their shoulder. For the last 2 weeks that they debacle that they put up against New England a couple weeks ago, and then last week letting Tennessee come back in. They had Tennessee dead in their rights, and they just let the foot off the gas pedal. I think that you're going to see a hungrier Baltimore Raven team, but Pittsburgh on offense has too many weapons, man. You got Claypool, you got Shushu, you got Connor in the backfield, you got I can't even name all the receivers. I don't know where Pittsburgh finds all these stud receivers. I've never even heard of Claypool until this year in college. I never even heard of him. I never even heard of him. Man. He is.
Can I ask you this? Where does Ben go down?
Where's Ben go down? Oh, all-time rank?
Because he's done it year after year after year after year, and he's rotating players. He goes through Ben Roethlisberger, man. He's
elite. He's elite. Yeah. He's definitely top of this draft class that he came out of for sure.
Super Bowl rookie.
Where do you put Tomlin at? I mean,
who? Tomlin's
up there too.
Tomlin's one of the top 3K coaches in the NFL. Right now, active, yes. The guy he's never had a losing record. He's never had even when Big Ben went down with Mason Rudolph as the quarterback, he went 8-8. He's never had a losing record. That just shows you the mentality. The players want to play for this guy.
And he's disciplined.
He's disciplined. He's a great head coach. And I'm just saying, I don't love Pittsburgh by any stretch of the imagination, but Mike Tomlin is a good head coach. And I think this year, if he doesn't win it this year, then who knows? But if he wins a Super Bowl and gets 2, how can you not put him active head coaches? How can you not put him at number 2 behind Bill Belichick?
If Ben gets another one, where do you put him though? I mean, man,
active or all time?
All time.
Top 7, maybe top 10.
I agree. I mean, he's probably inching towards top 5. I mean, without looking it up and
going through everything. Yeah, he's knocking on that door, top 5 to me, if he wins another Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, he won a Super Bowl as a rookie. And then he's done
second year. It was a second year.
Second year. He's done what he's done since then.
Well, that first Super Bowl wasn't his. I mean, that was that run game and that defense. Ben Roethlisberger didn't do anything in that Super Bowl game.
Outside, you can say that if you want to, but
he did make a great. He did make a big tackle after that Jerome Bettis fumble to save the game to make him go to the Super Bowl. I'm just saying, but Ben top 7 if he gets another Super Bowl ring. Does he have all the glitz and glamour of everything? No. But the way he doesn't go down, like the way he pump fakes more than anybody and fakes out the cameraman more than anybody I've ever seen in my entire life, and then takes hits like a linebacker and just stays up right and still makes an accurate pass. He's a different kind of breed, man. That you're never going to see another Ben. I don't think you're going to see another Ben Roethlisberger type in this league, especially with the way the league's going right now. But yeah, if he wins another Super Bowl, gives you 3 Super Bowls, you have to put him in the top, maybe arguably top 5, but definitely top 10, 7 for sure.
Yeah.
So you said you're gonna go. You said the chip on the shoulder. You're taking Baltimore, Trey?
No, I think that they're going to come out game busters. I think they're going to fight. But man, Pittsburgh and their offense, I think
Too much.
I think well, and what Nate the Great pointed out earlier was if Baltimore loses this game, they're out of the division race. And you're telling me that's not on the back of the Pittsburgh Steelers' mind to knock out the Baltimore Ravens on your home turf on Thursday Night Football? That's going to be on their mind a little bit. I think it's going to be closer than the experts think. I think it's going to be a dogfight for sure. But I can see Pittsburgh winning by 7 points.
Brandon?
Oh, I'm going Pittsburgh. I think it's going to be a dogfight. Yeah, like Ray said, 10-7. Or I mean, point wise, the spread. I think it's going to be like 7-10 point difference.
Yeah, like I said, like last week, I've noticed that Lamar just has issues with primetime quarterbacks. Primetime quarterback matchups are not in his favor, and I don't think he's beat Roethlisberger since he's been in the league yet. So. I think Pittsburgh's going to take it on Thanksgiving Day. What's that last game?
That was it for the Thursday games.
That's it for the Thursday games?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, man.
So we got, I don't know. I mean, what else you guys got offhand?
What's the Monday night?
Do we really want to see the Monday night game? It's Seattle versus the Eagles.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is where the league needs to step in and switch.
Yeah. Honestly, the game I kind of was gearing towards, just looking offhand, was the Titans and Colts. I think that's got some serious playoff implications to it. I mean, I think the Colts are going to take it. I mean, that defense is solid. Titans have been kind of up and down myself, so I'd go Colts.
I'm going with Derrick Henry, man. That's a big dude. I think last year, I know that Indianapolis has that in their mind. What Derrick Henry did to him last year, and Derrick and the Titans are rolling. Yeah, they had a week or two of struggling. I think this week they looked a little bit better to me. But Phillip Rivers is a talented quarterback as well. And he's always moving that ball. But I don't think that they pull this one off.
No.
I think that run game is going to go ahead and grind it out, and it's going to be a dogfight.
Give me Derrick Henry all day, every day. You saw he only had 48 yards going into the fourth quarter against the Baltimore Ravens. And then he ended up with 120 yards.
Yeah.
Give me Derrick Henry. That defense is scary. That defense is not good this year for some odd reason. I don't know what's going on. They're giving up over 26 points a game. But give me – I think that the Titans have something to prove. I think that they had a mental lapse last Thursday night against the Colts. I think that they're going to come out like game busters. I don't trust Phillip Rivers to have 2 good games in a row. Just because of his age and just because he's been so inaccurate for his whole career, you don't know what you're going to get out of him. He can throw seven touchdown passes in one game to 7 interceptions in one game. You just don't know what you're going to get from him. But I think the Vrabel's going to have a better game plan this time around. I think that you're going to see a lot more Henry. I think you're going to see A.J. Brown get in the mix. I think you're going to see Tannehill have a big game, especially in the second half off that play action pass. So I think the Colts are on a high streak right now. The Colts are still going to make the playoffs, but this game right now, give me the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, they're going to keep the ball out of Phillip Rivers' hands as much as possible with that run game.
Yeah.
Any other big playoff implication games?
let's end on a note with the Sunday afternoon game, the only good game on the NFL slate on Sunday.
Okay.
Kansas City, Tampa Bay.
Okay.
Well, we just saw Tom. I know he's gonna be pissed next week. He's gonna be upset going into Kansas City. But again, like we were talking about with this Chiefs and Raiders game, man, Patrick Mahomes is a mammal. He's a different type of man out there playing quarterback, and the way that he can throw the ball from different angles at any given time, the way that he can just turn it up, that team can score points whenever they want to. It's almost as if it's almost like they're playing with their prey for, however long they choose to. And once they get upset, they just turn it on and boom, 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 boom. So, and then watching this week, Tom Brady's not that guy no more. He's not putting up 35, 40 just because he's Tom Brady. So I don't think they can hang with him. I think the Raiders' offense is more powerful than the Tampa Bay offense.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs behind our new bad man, Mahomes. I think they're going to take care of Tampa Bay.
This is a scary game. Just looking at it, if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lose this game, you're letting a lot of teams in who shouldn't be in the playoff picture in this scenario. A la Minnesota Vikings. Because Tampa Bay will have 5 losses if they lose against Kansas City. I'm telling you, they're letting a lot of Chicago Bears. They're going to let all these teams come into play. I'm telling you, this is a scary game for the Kansas City Chiefs. But Kansas City wants that first round bye. Because remember, in the NFL playoffs this year, only the first seed gets the bye week this year with 7 teams. So they're they want that home field advantage against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Does home field even manage this
whenever
year?
it comes up to play. Huh?
Does home field even manage this year?
It will on the playoffs.
Yes and no. Yes and no. I think it does in a different aspect, believe it or not. The way COVID has hit these players and like the protocol for travel-wise for these teams, it's not your regular game plan. Like you have to go through extra testing. You have to it's totally different. Yeah, you're not going to have this. But one thing I'm noticing a lot this year, I don't know if y'all noticed, the hard counts, they're jumping more offsides this year in empty stadiums than they are in the full stadium. I don't know what it is. Like
I think they can hear them. They can hear the counts. Like everything.
Exactly. Exactly. But
what did you think, Brandon?
You think with what? Home field advantage?
Yeah.
I think it's going to matter in the playoffs. I mean, you get to wake up in your own bed. I mean, you don't have to travel. I mean, but yeah, I mean, right now I think it's 50-50, but I think when it comes to playoff time, I think it's going to matter.
I don't know, and I don't know if it does, Trey. I don't know if it does.
It depends. It depends on what the home field is. If you have to go to an outdoor stadium in a cold weather venue, then yes, it's going to matter.
What weather implications?
Yes,
okay,
but if you have to go to but say like Kansas City has to go to theoretically, I'm not saying this is going to happen by any stretch of the imagination because it's virtually impossible. Say Kansas City has to go to Indianapolis. You're telling me that home field is going to matter? I mean, no, it's not. But if you have to go to Pittsburgh or Kansas City and snow and wind and everything, it's going to make a difference.
Yeah, that's right. But I mean, the NFC, who has an outside stadium that's in the picture?
Tampa Bay, Seattle,
Seattle,
Tampa. Yeah, that's big.
Seattle's definitely going to be right there.
Philadelphia,
I don't think they're going to make playoffs. I don't
either, but they're in the hunt, so I'm just got to put them out there.
Yeah.
So wrapping it up, and I feel like we kind of all took the big chair today, and threw out some great topics. What are you guys going to be thankful for on Thanksgiving?
I'll start it off, man. I'm happy to, this is one of the craziest years that's going to be in the history books, and I'm glad to put it into the history book. ups and downs, like we talked about, a lot of racial tension, presidential. I'm happy that I'm thankful that there's going to be 4 years removed of this political stuff for a minute of the main presidential stuff. I don't get rid of that and this COVID stuff, put it past us, and thankful for my family. Thankful for another year to be here on this earth. With, like I said, with everything that's going on with this pandemic and everything. So I'm just gonna take that time and enjoy my kids.
Yep, Trey.
I want to say something crazy, and don't shoot me or kick me off the show. I'm kind of thankful for COVID, the way 2020 is. The reason I'm saying that is because we didn't have sports for how long? 6 months? And it made me step back and realize what's important in my life. Yes, I love sports. I love talking sports. It's a passion of mine, and I've been doing it for 34 years of my life. That's how many years I've been alive. But I got so drawn into it where I wouldn't spend time with my wife or my daughter or my family because a game was on or whatever the case may be. But it made me step back and be real blessed and say, you know what? It's just a game. These players don't care what I think or what everything. They're still going to make their millions, and I'm still going to. So it made me take a step back in my own life and realize what I have, and I'm blessed for what I have. I'm very thankful for my wife. Let me pursue my dream and everything that I do this year. Watching our daughter, 2-year-old daughter, putting her to bed a lot of nights and stuff. So I'm very blessed, and I'm very thankful for the parents and the parents I have, my support system, and I'm just thankful that my grandparents are still alive. We're going to go see them for the 60th wedding anniversary in a couple of weeks. So one thing COVID has taught me is don't take anything for granted. No one's guaranteed anything in this life. Only thing guaranteed is death and taxes. You don't know when your time is going to come. So just enjoy every minute of it. Enjoy your family. Even though this Thanksgiving, you're probably not going to see a lot of your family, but at least stick with your immediate family and just put away the TV for a couple hours and just talk and have that good old conversation. And I'm just thankful for what God has blessed me with in this last this last year. So that's what I'm thankful for.
Yeah, I think Trey, I think you kind of nailed it on how I felt. I mean, yeah, sports were still a big part of my life. I mean, but with them being gone, got to spend time with my son, got to do stuff around the house, go to work when we weren't shut down. My family's been hit last few weeks with some tragic losses, one due to COVID, one due to some other things. So I'm ready to put this year behind. I'm thankful, that, I'm here for another, good year coming up, and I got a good job. My son's growing up. I'm living a good life. So with that being said, what do you think our viewers will be thankful for? Maybe getting something for free. Jay, how can they get something for free?
Like, comment, share. And by the way, man, when you guys like the page, there's a little thing on there that says notify you when we go live. Click that on there too. That way, every time we go live, you guys get a notification, know that we're on. We got many different shows going on throughout the week. There's a lot of different personalities on the network. Take your time, check them out, man. I'm sure you guys are gonna fall in love with some personality on the network, man. There's always one for somebody.
So if they don't want to like, share, or don't want to do that, how can they go about getting a shirt for Christmas? Trey, how can they do that?
Hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you can find us on ASAP Network, and hit us up, and we'll be happy to send you a shirt for $25. That is shipping and handling, and I'm telling you, it's worth the price. They're pretty awesome looking shirts, and I can't wait to get one myself. So hit us on any of the social media networks. We'll be more than happy to send you a shirt.
And keep tuning in, because sometime this week I heard a little birdie talking that there might be some kind of sale coming up on Friday. So just keep tuning in. So with that being said, like I said, I think we all kind of shared the big seat today. So I have nothing more. What do you guys? I think we're about ready to call the show tonight and see everybody tomorrow.
I'm right there with you, Brandon. It was great doing my first show with you and Trey, like always.
Yep.
Yep. I hope we can do
Y'all
more.
have a
So, all right. I'm out.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making the plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. Great eye in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace up the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.